Moist Meter was brought to you by Amazon Music. Sign up for free below using our referral code.
Initiating moisture.
Welcome to the Moist Meter. Today we're checking out SpaceJam: A New Legacy. I haven't seen the original SpaceJam since probably the 90s. It's been a long time for me, but I loved the movie when I was younger. I can't imagine I'd go back and watch it now and enjoy it as much today as I did back then. I think that movie was really a product of its time. It took all of the 90s and fucking flavor blasted it into this goldfish of a movie, which ended up just happening to work with SpaceJam. Like, it was a fun movie for its time, but I don't want to go back and take the risk that it actually sucks ass by today's standards, because I have a sneaking suspicion that it's probably not that great anymore, and I just don't want to risk it. I want to keep those cherished childhood memories intact and not ruin it. But I will say, SpaceJam: A New Legacy fucking sucks. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. This is going to be like a Moist Meter speedrun. This is the laziest movie I think I've ever seen. There is no effort put into the creation of this film at all. The movie is entirely references, and I'm sure you've heard that on Twitter by now, and maybe even seen some of the clips where it is just reference at every single step of this movie. It's completely devoid of all substance and creativity. It really just feels like they wanted to make a couple bucks off the beloved Space Jam property, but it doesn't have any of the magic of Space Jam. It's like they actually took the basketball from Space Jam and just sucked all of the talent and creativity out of the fucking studio here and then produced this hemorrhoid. I understand this is a movie made for kids, but that doesn't mean that it has to blow asshole. You know what else was a movie made for kids? Paddington 2, and that shit fucking slapped. You know who's not in this movie? Paddington. Huge mistake. Paddington should have been on the Looney Tunes team for some reason. Just any reason to put Paddington out there. I would love to see it. What I'm saying is, just because a movie's made for kids doesn't mean that it has to fucking suck. It's also an insultingly long, miserable experience. It's like a 2-hour movie for no reason. Like, within the first hour, you get to the basketball game, which I would have expected to last maybe like 30 minutes or something, but it lasts another fucking hour. So you have an hour of just this boring build-up of... build-up's the wrong word, because there is no fucking build-up, it's just references. Like, in one scene, you're watching an Austin Powers clip that has a Looney Tune in it, and then the next scene, you're watching a black and white television show that has a Looney Tune in it, and you just keep going back and forth, rapid fire, never letting you breathe. But when you get to the basketball game, then you're fucking strapped in, locked and loaded for an hour of boring nonsense. Like, I can't even remember half of the shit that happened there. I sat there and watched the whole thing with a frown on my face, and I cannot even tell you half of the shit that goes on. There's like 10 different times LeBron's like, fundamentals, but maybe we should get goofy because it's not working with fundamentals. And it's like, the fundamentals are going to work again. But what if we got goofy? Or maybe the movie was skipping back and forth and replaying the same part multiple times. I couldn't tell you. I honestly don't know. After a certain point in that basketball game, I just felt like I was being hypnotized. It's not good. I can't even imagine for kids they'd find a whole lot of things to like about it, because half the references aren't even going to make sense to them. What fucking child has seen Austin Powers, right? It's just kind of a dog-ass movie all around, no matter what your age. And I don't think LeBron made the movie weaker or anything like that. I thought LeBron did fine. He is on screen 99% of the time here, and I found that to be okay. It's not like he was insufferable to watch. He's not like a super shitty actor. He's not good by any means, but it's like charmingly mediocre. Like, you can tell that he wants to do well. Like, when he's doing the voice acting for his cartoon counterpart, you can hear him kind of changing his voice a little bit, doing screams, so you can see that there's effort there on his part, but he's just not talented at acting enough to make it good. And I don't know, there's something about that dichotomy of like this effort and lack of talent, and it kind of worked for me. I don't know, it just made it really believable. It's like, yeah, that is actually fucking LeBron doing this, you know? I thought that was fine. Like, I didn't have any problems with LeBron as the main character and like the only character that's on screen every single scene in the movie. I think the movie could have been better, at least if they had just focused on doing more than just making as many references as they could possibly fist into this movie. Like, the idea of having LeBron's son being kidnapped by a video game AI that forces him to play a crazy game of basketball is at least a fun idea. But the fun is taken out of it when there's like no effort put into making it actually fun to watch. It's also way too long. It is way, way too long. Plugging this into the moist meter, I'm giving Space Jam: A New Legacy a 25%. I don't know who would go into this movie and feel satisfied. I mean, being able to point out some references, being like, oh, I get that, I guess could be fun for some people, but when you're saying that 90 times over the course of 25 minutes, I think it's going to lose its luster and stop being that fun. So that's about it. So yeah.